Well, this certainly is going to be a talking point.
You ain't so tough with that bad boy tuck. I'ma get it how I'm living, I'ma walk the walk. Outline my lines, I rap through thought.
Yes, friends, hello, what's going on? Welcome back to Football Therapy with me, your host, Jan. I hope you're doing well, mate. I really do hope that. Welcome back to Chelsea News. Well, we have been wondering, we've been sitting back, we've been speculating, we've been pondering who are these forward targets that Chelsea are going to approach. We know Chelsea are trying to buy an attacking midfielder, wide forward, auxiliary, versatile forward. Even Pochettino himself, the Chelsea manager, has said it a few times in press conferences. We know now they've got the goalkeeper, Petrovic. They're looking for this final player to sign this week before Friday. And who's it going to be? Well, the Mail, Simon Jones of the Mail has written an article about certain Chelsea targets. We know some of the, well, we know Kudus is gone, Olise is gone. So some of these targets that have come up are peculiar. Also, Tuchel wants to poach one of Chelsea's players. Stick around to the end, please. Find out about all these players. Thank you for joining me. If you want to support the content, you're welcome to subscribe. Hit the bell if you choose to subscribe. And thank you for dropping a like on the video. Sweet, man. It's all popping off indeed. A good opportunity to let you know I'm uploading daily on my other channel for non-Chelsea related content. For those of you who are interested in that. Of course, it's just called Football Yannick, like my media handle, social media handle. So first, before we talk about the attackers, Thomas Tuchel wants to sign Trevoh Chalobah on a permanent deal. And this is coming from the Telegraph Football. And negotiations are in progress. This is wild, because Thomas Tuchel gave Trevoh Chalobah his chance. He scored that great goal. It's a feel-good story. He played a little bit of right-back for us, but loads of right centre-back. A lot of people are wondering why we're not playing him. Why is he being bombed out? Why did we sign Axel Disasi? I mean, I'm sure there's data explanations for all that stuff that we're not privy to. But I've sort of spoken my piece on this. I'd love for Trevoh to stay, but I'm also okay with him going. I understand he's another pure profit exercise that really does help Chelsea out financially in terms of all our big outlay recently. If Pochettino doesn't fancy, I'm all in on Pochettino right now, and you have to be. And if he's like, look, I want Disasi, I'm probably not going to use Trevoh, sell him then, make loads of pure profit on the books. If that's the vibe, go for it. I'm on board the Pochettino train. Look, I love the academy players. I love Trevoh. He's got himself a new big contract recently. He's in the limelight. He's earning decent cash, I think. And Bayern Munich would be a great move for him. Harry Kane's just gone there. He obviously knows Tuchel. The one peculiar thing about it is that Tuchel bombed him out the squad for a while, like completely out of nowhere. He brought him in. He was a great feel-good story. And then out of nowhere, he just friggin' disappeared. And there were stories at the time suggesting that even like Trevoh doesn't know why, so it'd be strange for him to come back and sign him, but that we all thought it was strange that he really wanted Kepa for similar reasons. Granted, Kepa had lost his place to Mendy under Lampard, but it's a strange one. Anyway, before we talk about the attackers, let me know what you think about Trevoh Chalobah going to Bayern Munich, man, on a permanent. Let me know what you think. Alright, so we're going to talk attackers. This, of course, is the big story at the moment. Now, as much as I hate to read from the Daily Mail, Simon Jones seemingly is well informed, the journalist writing for them, and this is big stuff. Chelsea are weighing up a move for Arsenal's Emile Smith-Rowe, before transfer deadline day, with Barcelona duo Rafinha and Ferran Torres also on the Blues' radar. Absolutely mental. Now, we knew that I said it earlier, maybe in this morning's video, that some names were just going to pop up that was just going to like blow people's minds. And yeah, I mean, all of them have blown my minds. Before we read the article, Emile Smith-Rowe, for obvious reasons, I mean, he's currently being benched by Kai Havertz, right? Who 67 million pound man. I think Emile Smith-Rowe is a good player, by the way. But just so weird. We'll get into that in a moment. Ferran Torres. I don't think, by the way, I don't think off the bat now, either Ferran Torres or Rafinha has want to come to Chelsea. They all both dreamed of their Barcelona move. They got their Barcelona move. They were like raked back into the Premier League. And again, it has to be said, like, we'll probably be able to pay Emil Smith-Rowe wages he wants. But what's happening to the new wage structure plan? You are not crowbarring Ferran Torres and Rafinha out of Barcelona on, you know, this new wage, on Mykhailo Mudrik's wages. So, what's happening here? But at the same time, I feel lost in this peculiar space of not understanding, of leaning into the plan of the wage structure, but also being like, we're still Chelsea Football Club, and we're still going to try and allure big names to the club every now and again. And ultimately, these guys know they can go play for Liverpool, United, Arsenal, City, Barcelona, and get paid much more wages. Let's read what the article's saying. Chelsea are considering a late move for Arsenal star Emil Smith-Rowe and, of course, the Barca pair Rafinha and Ferran Torres. The Blues have already spent around 350 million quid this summer and around 900 million in total spending under Todd Boehly. Not net spend, though. Very important. We like to say that word, don't we? Despite these additions, the West London side are looking light going forwards. Very much true. And the manager, Mauricio Pochettino, clearly wants to strengthen an attack before Friday's deadline. Well, he said over and over and over, like I said at the top of the video, Poch wants another attacker. And as reported on Monday's Transfer Confidential column from the Mail Sports transfer guru Simon Jones, Boehly, Pochettino and co are weighing up imminent moves for Smith-Rowe, Rafinha and Torres. Interest is not particularly advanced in the trio, but the trio among the names are being discussed in the Chelsea hierarchy at this stage. So Smith-Rowe is 23 years old. He endured an injury-hit season last campaign and has not played a single minute for Arsenal this campaign. But off the bat, Smith-Rowe kind of fit. He's a young English player, fits the Project 2030 plan. You know, if you say to him you're going to come and play some football, he might be interested. Ferran Torres has often been used as a backup to star striker Robert Lewandowski. And Ferran Torres, from his time at Man City, you don't really, think of him as playing like a striker down the middle. But Ferran Torres, for a while, looked like he was seriously good. Seriously good. So strange. And Brazilian winger Rafinha, formerly of Leeds, has been dropped for a 16-year-old wonder kid, Lamine Yamal, in recent weeks. Right, that completely passed me by. I might have seen a Fabrizio Romano post on a 16-year-old playing, but to be dropped for a 16-year-old, dude can't smoke or drink. Not that football is smoke or drink. He can't do anything. You're 16, your life sucks. I mean, his life doesn't suck because he's starting for Barcelona. Where is this analogy going? Point being, it's embarrassing for Rafinha that he's been dropped for a 16-year-old. Now, Rafinha, cast your minds back, was being linked to Chelsea, and it looked like he was going to join Chelsea. It was that weird, peculiar transfer war summer. Was it the season before last? Where, the defender from Sevilla, I've forgotten his name. Jules Koundé went there, and Rafinha went there, and it was like, oh, banter, we've taken all your players. But, I don't want either of them, really. I mean, again, Rafinha's exciting, he's direct, but if he legitimately has been benched for a 16-year-old, I don't want to pay his huge wages and bring him over here. What do you think? Anyway, meanwhile, Ian Matson's decision over a new contract could have bearing on Marc Cucurella's departure from Stamford Bridge. Of course, Cucurella is available on loan, and Manchester United have made inquiries if Chelsea may not on Saturday. But Chelsea may not be so sure if the Holland under-21 international left-back Matson doesn't commit to a new deal. The 21-year-old has been offered a lengthy deal, but is unsure over the terms and validity of signing it. Burnley, of course, who had him at their club last season, who got player of their team of this season. Borussia Dortmund and West Ham are all keen on Matson and could match or better terms. Yeah, Chelsea probably aren't offering him mega money. So certainly Borussia Dortmund would give him probably better money. Maybe even West Ham, actually. Again, this is like the weird paradox of the Chelsea wage structure that I still can't get my mind around. Pochettino has been impressed with Matson, and the club would prefer to let Cucurella go at this stage. Chelsea have also shown interest in Boca Juniors left-back Valentin Bacco, but Manchester City are expected to win that title race. Yeah, on Maatsen, I mean, he seemingly can play in the front line as well. That's what he did all pre-season. Might even be coming on to do that. But I've said it before. I've done a video on Cucurella. Go back and watch it. The upload before last, I believe. I think a move for Manchester United is great. To reiterate the main points, he's on the big wages and he's not starting or even coming off the bench, so it's an absolute burning massive amounts of money. Again, he's on the high wages before the new structure. His value as an asset has depreciated for biblical levels since we bought him, for obvious reasons. So Manchester United would pay his wages, they'd increase his asset value because he'd play for Manchester United, and at the end of the season they either buy him or we sell him elsewhere, or use him, but, you know, probably sell him. And then if he does go, Maatsen hopefully will commit pen to paper. That's not what you say. Put pen to paper and commit his long-term allegiance to Chelsea. Who commit the pen to paper. So yes, that is interesting. But let's talk about these forwards, man. I think I've kind of like said my piece on Rafinha. Look, he is a right-sided player. He is exciting and he's high octane. And if he comes, he's probably be very good. But why? But I know this might be a sensational line in a Daily Mail article, but correct me if I'm wrong, or tell me in the comments, has he been benched for a 16-year-old? Has that happened? And how, do I even need to ask how good the 16-year-old is? It's just not a good look. Like, he costs like 50, 60 million pounds, Rafinha, and he's been benched by, some kid who probably isn't allowed out past a certain time. It blows my fragile mind. I could have a 16-year-old child if I had a child very young. All right, so Emile Smith-Rowe, it would be funny. It would be funny if he comes to Chelsea, plays very well, and, it continues to have controversy of Havertz, a very expensive Kai Havertz at Arsenal, and Emile Smith-Rowe just balls out at Chelsea. It's always fun to see that, right? Arsenal fans wouldn't like that, so I would enjoy it. In the great theatre and drama of the football banter realm, it would be enjoyable, right? We'd all dig that. So, but is he the one? I don't know. I mean, he's a good footballer, isn't he? There was a while when him and Saka were tearing it up, and then Saka flew away much further in terms of progression. If we could buy Bukayo Saka, then I'd be all over him. But he's on very big wages. You want to talk about wage structure at Chelsea? Bukayo Saka, and look, I ain't got no problem with this. I think, more power to him. I think he's getting like 300k a week. But he is like by like Premier League standards, you're a Champions League Premier League team. Your best attacking players really well. It doesn't surprise you that they're on 300k a week. It's just not where Chelsea want to go at the moment. So Emile Smith-Rowe, I'd probably say second favourite. I think I might lean on Ferran Torres out of those three, because I know we've never seen him like explode long term, Ferran Torres, but he is a good player. Wasn't he like Spain's striker? I know Morata's come back in maybe, but I don't know, I think there's something quite exciting about Ferran Torres to come to Chelsea. And like, I know it's a little bit like City's like leftover, not unwanted trash, but in a way, Raheem Sterling was that. And Raheem Sterling looks like a new dawn for Chelsea at the moment. So who's to say, Ferran Torres can't be the same thing? Anyway, guys, these are three names that have popped up here that have been targets for Chelsea that have been revealed. Like I said, Simon Jones has got good information, but I'll choose to believe it. Mega strange targets though, and there probably will be more that develop along the way. I can't wait to read the comments on this one, so make sure you do leave your comments when you like and subscribe as well. And yeah, I'm doing short form content on my socials at Football Yannick, and daily content on the second channel at Football Yannick, when I talk about not anything but Chelsea essentially. So all the big news stories in football, just away from Chelsea. So please do go subscribe to Football Yannick. I don't think I've got a link in the description, but just, Football Yannick, you'll find it on YouTube. All right, peace.